Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a point in life when you realize that the loudest noise around you is not from the world outside, but from the distractions within. Every opinion, every comparison, every expectation, pulling you in directions that were never meant for your soul. And if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day realizing you've been living for everyone else but yourself. The truth is, the greatest breakthrough you'll ever experience doesn't come from chasing approval. It comes from locking in on who you were created to be. When you stop chasing validation and start focusing on your own growth, something powerful happens. You begin to unlock a strength that was always there, waiting for your attention. The gifts God placed inside you start to shine brighter. The vision He whispered in your heart becomes clearer. And suddenly, the energy you once wasted trying to fit into someone else's picture is now fueling your own masterpiece. See, focusing on yourself isn't about selfishness. It's about alignment. It's about recognizing that you were designed with purpose, with talent, with a calling that nobody else can fulfill. The world may try to define you by its standards, but you don't answer to the world. You answer to the one who created you. And when you truly embrace that, you stop comparing your journey to anyone else's and start walking with the confidence of someone who knows their lane, their mission, their destiny. Too many people spend their lives scrolling through the highlights of others while ignoring the potential sitting inside of them. But the moment you turn inward, the moment you invest in your mind, your spirit, your grind, that's when you begin to elevate. That's when doors open, not because you forced them, but because you grew into the person prepared to walk through them. And let me tell you, when you make that shift, when you decide to focus on your own growth, your own healing, your own dreams, you become unstoppable. Because nothing is more dangerous, nothing is more inspiring than a person who knows exactly who they are and refuses to be distracted from becoming everything they were meant to be. Eliminating distractions and focusing on your personal growth is one of the most powerful decisions you will ever make in your life. The truth is, distractions come in many forms, and most of the time, they disguise themselves as things that seem urgent or even necessary. Social media, constant comparisons, negative people, and the noise of the world can all pull your attention away from what truly matters, your own development. Every moment you spend caught up in someone else's story is a moment you could have invested in building your own. Distractions don't just steal your time, they rob you of your clarity, your peace, and your progress. That's why learning to cut off what doesn't serve you is an act of self-respect and self-discipline. When you remove distractions, you create space for focus. And focus is the foundation of growth. It's like a magnifying glass. When you direct light in one concentrated spot, it burns with power. The same is true for your life. When your energy is scattered in 100 directions, you feel drained, confused, and unfulfilled. But when you center your attention on one clear goal, one mission, one vision for yourself, everything starts to shift. The path becomes clearer, your decisions get sharper, and your actions start aligning with where you want to go. Growth doesn't happen in chaos, it happens in focus. Personal growth requires sacrifice, and that sacrifice often means saying no to things that once entertained you or gave you comfort. You can't pour your energy into distractions and expect your potential to blossom. You can't chase every trend, every opinion, and every shiny opportunity and still expect to grow into the best version of yourself. Growth asks for discipline. It asks you to be intentional with your time, your thoughts, and your choices. It asks you to prioritize your own journey over the noise around you. Every successful person understands the necessity of eliminating distractions. Athletes block out the crowd to focus on the game. Artists isolate themselves to hear the whispers of creativity. Leaders step away from the chatter to hear the voice of vision. If you want to grow, you must do the same. It doesn't mean cutting yourself off from the world, but it does mean training yourself to filter what you allow in. Protecting your energy, protecting your focus, and protecting your mental space becomes non-negotiable. The beauty of eliminating distractions is that it allows you to finally hear yourself, your true voice, your inner drive, and the whispers of God guiding you toward your calling. When you silence the noise, you realize you already have the answers within. You realize that growth was always possible, but it required you to stop scattering your attention and start planting your energy in one direction. That is where the real transformation begins. Aligning with your God-given purpose and inner calling is the key to unlocking a life of fulfillment, peace, and unstoppable drive. Every person walking this earth has been created with a unique design, a specific reason for being here that no one else can replace. Yet so many wander through life feeling empty because they chase paths that were never meant for them. They live by the expectations of others, following trends, jobs, or lifestyles that may look good on the outside but leave them restless on the inside. The truth is, you will never feel complete until you align yourself with the purpose that was placed in you from the beginning. That purpose is not something you invent. It is something you discover, something you uncover by listening to your heart, your spirit, and the quiet voice of God guiding you forward. When you begin to align with that purpose, everything around you shifts. Suddenly, Your decisions carry more weight because they are not random, they are intentional. You start to feel a sense of peace even in the middle of challenges because deep down you know you are walking in the direction meant for you. Purpose gives pain meaning, it gives struggle direction, and it gives success a deeper sense of fulfillment. Without it, you can reach the highest heights and still feel empty, but with it, even small steps feel significant because you know they are part of a greater plan. Your inner calling is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it comes as a persistent tug at your heart, a vision that won't let you go, or a passion that keeps burning no matter how much you try to push it aside. Too often people ignore that voice because they fear it may not match what others expect of them. But when you silence your inner calling, you silence the very compass that was designed to guide your destiny. Walking in purpose requires courage, it requires faith, and it requires trust that what God planted in you is enough to carry you where you need to go. The alignment with purpose does not mean life will suddenly be free of obstacles. In fact, pursuing your calling often invites resistance, but it also unlocks a power within you that makes you resilient. You find strength to keep moving because you know you are not just existing, you are fulfilling what you were created to do. The world may not always understand it, and the path may not always be clear, but when you live in alignment, you move with conviction. You stop second-guessing yourself because you are not chasing the approval of people. You are honoring the assignment God has given you. That kind of alignment transforms your entire life. It changes how you see yourself, how you see others, and how you step into every single day with confidence and clarity. Stop comparing your journey to others and embrace your unique path, because nothing weakens your spirit more than measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel. Comparison is a silent thief that robs you of joy, blinds you to your own blessings, and distracts you from the work God has placed in your hands. Every time you look at another person's success and ask yourself why you're not there yet, you are undermining the very process that is shaping you into who you're meant to become. What we forget is that every journey has its own timing, its own challenges, and its own lessons. The chapter you are in right now might not look like theirs, but that doesn't mean your story is less significant. It means you are being prepared for something that belongs uniquely to you. The truth is, no two callings are identical. The gifts inside of you were designed for your path, not someone else's. Just as no two fingerprints are the same, no two destinies are the same. That means no matter how much you try to measure yourself against another person's timeline or achievements, it will never align, because your purpose was never meant to mirror theirs. When you free yourself from comparison, you finally create the space to honor your own growth, to appreciate the small steps, and to recognize that progress doesn't have to be flashy to be meaningful. Comparison often blinds us to the reality that success is not as glamorous as it appears. We see the celebration, but not the sacrifice. We see the breakthrough, but not the battles behind closed doors. When you compare your beginning to someone else's middle, or your struggles to someone else's victories, you create a distorted picture that leaves you discouraged. But when you turn your eyes back to your own lane, you realize that you too are moving forward, you too are overcoming obstacles, and you too are being shaped by experiences that will prepare you for your own moment of breakthrough. Embracing your unique path means trusting that your life is unfolding exactly as it is meant to. It means believing that even setbacks are part of the process, building resilience and character that will carry you when you step into your calling. It also means celebrating others without resenting their success, because their blessing is not your loss. What is for them is for them, and what is for you cannot be taken away. That mindset transforms comparison into inspiration, turning what once discouraged you into fuel for your own journey. When you stop comparing, you start noticing the beauty in your own progress. You start to see that the small victories, the lessons learned in silence, and the quiet growth within you are just as powerful as public achievements. You realize that your race is not against others, it is against the limits you've placed on yourself. And once you embrace that truth, you can finally walk in freedom, fully owning your story, fully embracing your pace, and fully trusting that your unique path is exactly where you're meant to be. Investing in your mind, spirit, and daily grind is the foundation of building a life that reflects your highest potential. Too many people want success without preparation, growth without discipline, and blessings without responsibility. But the truth is, what you put into yourself daily is exactly what you will draw from when challenges come. Your mind is the engine that drives your decisions, your spirit is the compass that guides your direction, and your grind is the discipline that turns vision into reality. If even one of these is neglected, your foundation becomes shaky. But when all three are strengthened, you become unshakable. Your mind is where everything begins. The thoughts you allow to live there create the reality you experience. If you fill your mind with negativity, doubt, and fear, you'll live in limitation. But if you feed it with wisdom, knowledge, and positive belief, you unlock clarity and strength. Reading, learning, and surrounding yourself with voices that elevate your thinking are not luxuries. They are necessities for growth. A strong mind doesn't just help you think smarter, it helps you see further. It gives you vision beyond your current circumstances and allows you to make decisions that align with where you want to go, not just where you are. Your spirit is the deepest part of you, the place where your true strength comes from. Investing in your spirit means spending time in prayer, meditation, reflection, and connection with God. It's in those quiet moments that you gain peace, guidance, and resilience. Life will always bring storms, but when your spirit is anchored, the waves cannot pull you under. A strong spirit gives you endurance when your body is tired and your mind feels overwhelmed. It reminds you that you are not walking this journey alone, and that the power within you is greater than the obstacles around you. Then there's your daily grind, the discipline of showing up consistently even when motivation fades. Motivation can spark the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. Investing in your grind means respecting your time, building habits, and pushing yourself to follow through on your commitments. It's the small, repeated actions that build momentum. Every day you choose discipline over distraction, you add another brick to the foundation of your future. Greatness is not built in a single day of effort. It's built in the repetition of countless days where you choose to do what others quit on. When mind, spirit, and grind are all nurtured, they work together in harmony. Your mind provides the clarity, your spirit provides the strength, and your grind provides the action. Together they create an unstoppable force that allows you to face challenges with wisdom, endure trials with resilience, and build success with consistency. It's a cycle of growth that keeps you moving forward, no matter what stands in your way. Unlocking your true potential by becoming the best version of yourself is not about becoming someone else or fitting into society's image of success. It's about uncovering the greatness that was already placed within you from the start. Too often, people think potential is something they must chase outside of themselves. But the truth is it already lives inside of you, waiting for you to believe in it, nurture it, and bring it to life. Every gift, every talent, every dream was designed with purpose. And when you commit to becoming your best self, you awaken that potential in ways that transform not only your life, but the lives of those around you. Becoming the best version of yourself starts with self-awareness. You cannot unlock what you refuse to acknowledge. That means looking honestly at both your strengths and your weaknesses, embracing your flaws while also recognizing your unique gifts. Too often, people spend more time hiding what they are not instead of celebrating what they are. But growth begins when you decide to see yourself the way God sees you, not through the lens of insecurity or doubt, but through the lens of possibility and purpose. When you embrace that perspective, you stop settling for mediocrity. You realize that living small, doubting yourself, and ignoring your calling is not humility. It is neglecting the very potential you were entrusted with. Becoming the best version of yourself requires you to rise above fear, excuses, and limitations. It requires discipline because greatness never comes without effort. It requires patience because growth doesn't happen overnight. And it requires faith because there will be moments when you can't see the outcome, but you must still trust the process. Unlocking potential is not just about achieving personal goals, it's about transformation from the inside out. It's about building the kind of character that matches the dreams you are chasing. Integrity, resilience, compassion, and consistency are not optional. They are essential. Without them, success becomes shallow. But when you cultivate them, you become someone whose success is not just measured by what you have, but by who you have become. Every day is an opportunity to step closer to that best version of yourself. It's in the choices you make, the habits you build, and the mindset you carry. You don't unlock your potential by waiting for the perfect moment or the right opportunity. You unlock it by showing up every single day as someone willing to grow, to learn, and to stretch beyond comfort. And as you continue to push forward, you begin to realize that the best version of yourself is not a final destination, but a constant journey of rising higher, of breaking past limits, and of stepping fully into the power and purpose you were created to carry.